you know, it was very frustrating. Tried a lot of different things, and basically they used up all their Eagle's Nest chances. We have a limit on the number they can go, and then we have to do something different. Then it's not effective anymore. Okay, I think it's usually 6 per year, and so we had a few kids that reached that maximum for whatever reason. They're having a hard time. So,
although it's not clear to the board which ones are level 2 because they were repeat level 1s, or because they were new. Likewise with the level 3, I think level 3 would be really nice to know that the 3 4th graders.
Yeah, that was
whether or not those were repeat level 2 or it was.
That was not because of repeat level 2 offenses. Those were 3 distinct things that happened.
So were they other or weapons?
Yeah, good question.
One was weapons and 2 were other.
A real weapon? Or?
No.
What was the weapon?
It was a pretend. So
I'm sorry?
Pretend weapon.
Okay. Middle school, you know, again, kind of a similar thing. If you look here, this is grade 5, and so from last year to this year went from 11 to 8, grade 6 from 20 to 14, grade 7 from 17 to 16. So again, the first 3 grades down. 8th grade went from 22 to 47. And if you look over here at that number here, so that's a level 2 offense, and there are 37 of them. So that was really we had the most of them. 17 of those were issues with substitutes. So 17 where the substitute sent the kid either to the office or reported. Okay, then in addition, 13 of these were classroom or hallway misbehavior. So again, those are, you know, the level 2 offenses, but this was really an uptick here, and I know Joni was very busy with and know these individuals quite well. Number of repeat students is 10, which is a high number for us. But so these 10 students, particularly with substitutes, oftentimes did not have a good day. Questions?
Yeah, can I go back to the elementary for a second? I'm going to continue asking.
Sure.
If it's okay. All right. Well, we have kind of bullying, verbal bullying, teasing, and calling names, and that's a level 1 offense. We have physical aggression, and that's a level 2. We have 1 pretend weapons offense, and so if the other 2 are other, and they're not repeated level 2, as you said, what's an other? I mean, we might as well say
detail you want me to go into to hear about?
I don't need the child's name, and I don't need the incident. I just would like to know what another is, because it's obviously not verbal, it's not physical, and it's not a weapon, because that's identified under 1, 2, and 3.
Is it like pulling the fire alarm, or?
No. Well, I'll tell you what happened. It was 2 students that pretended to assassinate another student, and it was so. It was in jest.
So pretend.
It was in jest, but it was right in front of a classroom teacher. But we felt that was, of course, over the line.
Okay, thanks.
With such a high percent of the infractions with substitute teachers, do we know, was it, might be more a question for Meg or Joni, but was it more that students felt with the substitute they could get away with more, or the substitute teacher, not knowing the students, was kind of setting the bar to begin with, you know, making an example of them and not, you know?
Well, most of our substitutes are pretty regular, right? So the kids know them pretty well. We're pretty firm with the rules with substitutes. You know, when I talk to kids, if they get referred, it's, you know, substitutes are guests in our building, and we need to treat them with respect, even more so than you would with your teacher, because their job is so hard, and we want to have the type of school where subs want to come back and work here. So we talk a lot about that kind of thing. As far as the disproportionate number of 8th graders, I don't know if it's, you know, partially the age. A lot of it was towards the end of the year. A lot of it was in groups, like 5 or 6 kids would get written up, and all 5 or 6 would get a, you know, a consequence, which is typically a lunch detention for a week. I think it's probably something that I need to talk to some of the other grade levels about to make sure that we're being consistent with how we're dealing with substitutes. I did have some substitute infractions, a sizable chunk in 6th grade, but really none in 5th or 7th, which makes me think, I doubt that there was an entire year that no 5th or 7th graders got written up by a substitute, so I think it's probably the teachers were handling it on their own instead of sending it to the office, so that's probably something we need to revisit for next year.
Yeah, like you said, I think consistency is key.
The other thing that this measures, I'm sorry, were you?
Okay.
The other thing that this measures is this measures 1 year against the prior year, but it doesn't measure the same number of students. So for instance, in 2009-10, there were 3 level 3 offenses in 4th grade. In 2010-11, there was 1 level 3 offense in 5th grade. Do we ever look and see if, like, that's the same student?
From 1 year to the next?
Correct, because this is measuring, like, you're measuring incidences against the prior year, but it's a completely different set of kids. So it's almost meaningless, because that'd be like saying, my kid's nasty, but her kid's great, so therefore hers was the last one I saw, so all children are great. What I'm measuring is, like, same group of students coming along. So if you look at grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 8, do we have, you know, not only a repeat offense within a year, but repeat offenders throughout all the years?
You know, Mark, I can almost see value in both types of reporting.
Certainly, so I'm just asking the second
so
one.
maybe in the future,
Right.
it would be good, just like we have other reports that really show longitudinal data,
Right.
to see this one in that way as well, so that when we look at this year's grade 8, we saw what they looked like last year as grade 7 and
Correct.
the year before as grade 6. So
Right.
maybe presented from a couple of different perspectives. It shows you not only the class, but it also shows you the grade level, because things could be happening at a grade level and not necessarily be in a class. So.
I mean, because if you've got, let's just say, for instance, if you've got a weapon potential in grade 3 and a pretend assassination in grade 4, it's like, okay, what do we need to be looking for in grade 5 from this child?
So you're looking for student historical trends.
Right. And I'm not looking for by student. I'm not looking for by student. I'm looking for by grade, by graduating year. By graduating year.
Right.
So, correct.
I'm pretty sure in our meeting, Laura Soft, I think was her name, I think that they do look at those students, like the ones that were previous year, they kind of...
Oh, we know the students.
Oh, I'm sure they do. It would be
But
interesting to see. We don't see that.
As a board.
Right.
But even substitute, you know, shenanigans in the classroom, I mean, that takes away from the other students in the classroom.
Oh, certainly.
Learning.
Certainly.
So if those kids were substitute issues in 7th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, you know, the earlier the intervention we have, you know, I think the better, more solid our SEL program.
Okay. Anything else with, well, let me go on to, there's one more thing I wanted to show you on this. This is, the SEL committee met, and you have more slides in your board packet, but just for purposes of a discussion here. This is a survey that is filled out by students and the teachers. So this would be 5th grade boys, and we wanted to do this at least for 3 years to see what trends we were showing. This is a national percentile. So what this is here is social skills, which you want to improve over time. So these are 5th grade boys, and both the students here self-reported. This is when they were in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. They reported that their social skills went down. The teachers agreed with them, at least from here to here. Now, what you would expect intuitively is that then problem behaviors would have gone up. So here's problem behaviors. So this is the same exact people filling out the survey, and so what they reported is that their problem behaviors went down. At the same time, their social desirable behaviors went down. And that